Welcome back to Across Louisiana. You know, from time to time here on the show, we get to feature the works of the Historic New Orleans Collection, and we have an exciting new book, a great new author here on the show. It's author Richard Sexton. Tell us all about his great new work, The Creole World. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We always love featuring the things that the Historic New Orleans Collection has. They're always very compelling and very beautiful original works. Yours is a great book called Creole World. Tell me about it.
Well, Creole World, and the subtitle really is the biggest clue here. It's photographs of New Orleans and the Latin Caribbean sphere. So it's photographs of mine taken over many years in New Orleans, where I'm based, combined with photographs from the broader Creole world, from Cuba, from Haiti, from Panama, Cartagena. There are things from Riobamba and Cuenca in Ecuador. So it's kind of a broad swath of the Creole world, and you'll be surprised at all the similarities that you see visually.
We talked a little bit beforehand. I think that's something that people know the word Creole and realize that we have that tradition here, but they may not make the connection that that came from somewhere, right? And those influences came from all these broader parts of South America.
It's a term with a shared history that is not just Louisiana. It is used in Spanish, it's criollo, and it's really a term used throughout Latin America and certainly in Haiti. In Haiti, the reference really is to the language that they speak, which is a simplified form of French, which they call Creole. And so there are many different nuances to it, but it's this shared heritage that we have that's not really part of North America, but part of this other world, the Creole world.
Absolutely, and I mean, work of this nature by its nature is going to be visually compelling, but the book is really more than that. I mean, there are obviously some great essays involved. I mean, it tells a story, right?
Yes, it does. It is primarily visual. It's a photographic book, but there are two essays. One is by Jay Edwards, who is a Creole scholar, and he really touches on all corners of the meaning of the word Creole. And it's a complex word. It means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Also, John Lawrence, who is the collection's director of museum programs, wrote an essay as well. And in that, he really sort of puts a perspective on my photography of New Orleans and how that relates to all the many other photographers who photographed the city before me.
So you really have a common thread that's going to tie together all this great work.
That's right. And there's also text relating to the various places that are photographed. For instance, there's a section on Cienfuegos in Cuba. It's a town on the southern coast of Cuba that was founded by people some were from France, from Bordeaux, but there was a large contingent from Louisiana who moved to Cuba after the Louisiana Purchase, and it was in response to the purchase. In Cuba, they call it the French town, but you would be surprised how strikingly similar it is to New Orleans.
I know the book's going to be featured at the Fine Print Book Club meeting, and I'm sure people are going to want to check it out. If they want to learn more about that or find out more about it or just see the exhibition itself, tell me a little bit about where they could go to learn more about that info.
Well, the book's widely available everywhere, as well as from the collection. The exhibit is in the Perriot building, which is one of several buildings that the collection has in the French Quarter. It's at 400 Chartres Street, which is at Conti, right in the heart of the quarter. And the gallery there is open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 9:30 to 4:30. If you're in New Orleans, stop in and see the exhibit and check out the book as well.
Well, thanks so much for coming on and tell us all about it, sharing it with us. Look forward to seeing it. Can't wait. It sounds like a great exhibition.
Thanks for having me.
Sure
Pleasure.
thing. Well, they've been keeping you healthy in the Baton Rouge area for over 30 years. It's Peak Performance Physical Therapy. Take a look, everyone.
Peak Performance Physical Therapy is a private practice, general physical therapy practice that we have grown over the years trying to service the needs of the patients in our area along with the physicians that we serve.
One of the great things that we try to do as physical therapists is not just treat your specific injury, but to help you return to the previous level of function you were before you injured yourself. We have the tools here and the passion for getting people back to that level of function that is really where we feel that they experience the joys of life.
Peak Performance treats all types of patients. We actually treat all types of injuries. We use the principles that apply to our athletes who need to get back in the game as quickly and safely as possible.
Our patients love the fact that we can take them upstairs into our gym and show them how to lift now the proper way to avoid further injury, how to avoid their back pain when they're squatting, or how to avoid their shoulder pain when they're bench pressing.
Education is a big key to what we do. We try to educate people, not just get them in and treat the specific body part. We want them leaving knowing what's going on, knowing a little bit about why their injury occurred and how they can prevent that from happening in the future.
We love to get somebody who's never been into a gym, who's maybe even been afraid to go to a gym because they think they don't fit in or they're afraid they're going to hurt themselves. And what we like to do is work with them in the clinic and instill in them proper movement patterns with correct biomechanics, so that when we transition them next door to Spectrum and get them into a wellness program there, we teach them how to use the equipment properly.
Physical therapists are really considered the primary exercise specialists. We've worked for years from the rehab side of exercise, but now we're also getting into the prevention and the wellness side of exercise, and we can provide a lot of great information to our patients by identifying areas where they have needs or where they have problems and helping them tailor an exercise program around those particular needs.
One of the great things that we have here at the Perkins Road Peak location is that we have the Spectrum next door. We have an Ultra G treadmill, an anti-gravity treadmill. We can get somebody who can't run on there, take 20%, 30% of their body weight off and teach them how to run with proper form and then add the weight back on later.
The Ultra G treadmill is NASA technology, and actually what it does is it allows the patient to walk on a normal, regular treadmill, but through a system of providing air pressure, it actually lifts the patient off the treadmill in increments that we can grade as a therapist, and we can increase or decrease as we see they need it. We also use a vibration platform, which is called perturbation training. The vibration platform is really used for neuromuscular re-education. It challenges the joints a lot differently than on a regular flat, still surface. What we are able to do is increase the amplitude and the frequency of the vibrations that are coming from the platform. So the patient feels as though they're on a vibrating surface, which really makes the joints and all the receptors in the joints respond a lot more severely than they would on a flat, still surface. Our manual techniques are also very important. All of our clinicians are certified in ASTEM, which is a soft tissue mobilization procedure that's highly effective for a lot of common injuries involving soft tissue. The purpose of the ASTEM treatment is to stimulate new collagen production, new growth, and to kind of get the healing process to happen in a more normal fashion, in a more functional fashion, so that as that area begins to be taxed and utilized again, everything works more normally.
We also have full free weights and free motion pulley cable systems upstairs that we can teach people complex movement patterns, but with safe, effective, smooth techniques so that they don't injure themselves. When we work with our patients here at Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we don't just work with them inside the PT clinic. We also get them out inside the Spectrum gym. And they feel that that is a great benefit to them because it makes them realize that they're not just a patient and they're not going to always be injured, but that our goal is to get them back to where they were before they came to see us. Anything that you think that would help you be more active, be more healthy, and enjoy a lifestyle change towards better health, less pain, and more energy, that's our goal.
When we come back on Across Louisiana, find out more about Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy and more. Don't miss it.